Alrighty then, time for round two. And this hand is barely keepable, I think. We have a lot of pump spells, including two of our smallest pump spells. But at least we do have one creature, and we're live to draw most cards. Like the worst possible thing for us to draw now is basic forest, but we only have 14 of those left in our deck. If we draw a Rancor, that would be great. Oh, Ledgewalker is perfectly acceptable also. So, with a hand like this, we're basically just playing a Lava Axe game, where we're just going to try and, five them with like Ledgewalker, and then five them again, and then five them again. Disciple of the Vault, it's not too bad. Chromatic Sphere. If they don't have Frogmite, I think we're actually pretty happy. Alright. So, like I say, time to start fiving them with extra help from the young wolf. So they obviously just drew that Frogmite, otherwise that would have been in play already. Unless they were playing around some sort of shock on the Frogmite. Is they're getting a red and a blue? Maybe for a Thoughtcast? I mean, without a Thoughtcast, I think we're fairly favoured in this game, since we have like a life lead, despite the best efforts of Disciple of the Vault, and they don't really have that much else going on. Of course, if they put like two Mirror Forces into play this turn, I'll be a lot less excited. Although you can never be too safe when it comes to Affinity, can you? I think I just get to play Pit Skulk this turn, actually. I'd rather save these for like a, the killing turn. So I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to play Pit Skulk. Then I will block something with Young Wolf. And then cast Hunger of the Howlpack. And hopefully kill them. Frogmites, I'm always happy to see those. As long as there aren't any like Atog Fling shenanigans, that would be pretty terrible for us, I have to say. Morbid only counts creatures, as far as I'm aware, and doesn't help with this land dying. So yeah, like I say, blocking this Mirror Enforcer. They can obviously have a Galvanic Blast, so I'm going to put the Hunger of the Howlpack on Ledgewalker. It's okay if they try and get like Galvanic Blast this next turn, for example, if I was to pump it, since I can like double Mutagenic Growth it to safety. But this turn, I'd rather do this. And then we have a land. So now we can cast. So we have a 4/4 plus 4 plus 4. They have like one card left, so I might as well cast this here to see what they've got. Like if it is a Galvanic Blast, then I can just double Mutagenic Growth. But if not, then I only, I need to play less cards. Either way, the outcome's the same. Like, I'm pretty confident that we're going to win the game. And I don't think there's any way we can lose the game. But doing it this way means that if they don't have Galvanic Blast, then we don't need to actually show them the mutagen growths. Whereas if I do need to use them, well, they were going to see them anyway. Because not everyone plays mutagenic growths, I think. Okay. Well, actually, I guess that's not true. We still need to play one of them, so maybe it was all pointless. So that's 12. Well then, so they have Disciple of the Vault, which isn't in all of the versions, for sure. There's like two sort of distinct versions of Affinity. I think I might need Epic Confrontations to kill those. I don't love Epic Confrontation against Affinity, since it's sometimes quite hard to kill their creatures. And Gleeful Sabotage has to be great, right? Otherwise, why are we playing them? Elephant Guides are probably good. Let's see, what's not so good? See, I actually don't mind River Boa because sometimes you need to like hold off a 4/4 while one of your like random evasion guys gets the job done. But maybe it's a little bit just like too expensive for our purposes here. What other options are not great? I think the vines aren't so good here since we're unlikely to be countering all that many Galv Blasts. I mean, it does counter Galv Blast, but Groundswell can usually do the same thing, I think. And it's just a little bit less clunky. Because you don't really want to take out too many creatures when you're like bringing in Gleeful Sabotage and like epic confrontations. You do need a certain amount of creatures. Possibly Nettle Sentinels on the way out, just because just a 2/2 is probably one of the worst cards in their deck. I'm still not certain about these Elephant Guides or these Tangles. I don't think Tangles are that great since they can actually just kill us without using them sometimes, I think. And we actually need to be fairly aggressive, so. I could see Nestivator being deserving of a cut also. Maybe bring back in Nettle Sentinel and put in like one Elephant Guide. See how they're going. Since their version's like a little bit of a unusual version of Affinity, like the Disciple of the Vault's not that common. I normally don't have all the epic confrontations. Since, 4/4s are kind of hard to kill with some of these creatures. I'll be keeping this one. And they mulligan to 5. That's pretty rough beats for them. But Affinity is nothing but if it's not a deck that can, win with surprising ease. Alright. So this is, tons of lands. Didn't really need to draw any more for quite a while since we have the Quirion Ranger. But that's alright. We get to make a ton of power. I think just playing an extra 4 power of creatures this turn is better than playing Nest Invader, since we're not really doing anything with the Scion. Atogs are always pretty scary. Oh well, there's me getting punished, eh? Not thinking about this guy at all. It is not dreadful, since they're still going to be on 3 cards. Or, nope, there we are. This is... Oh, it's gone about as badly as it could be. So they have to do it right now, otherwise they would risk us drawing a pump spell and blowing them out. But that will, this is showing me who the boss is, and the boss is clearly Affinity. So they're down to 4 cards, we're down to 4 cards. I actually don't think that's great for us now, considering that Quirion Ranger and Forest are basically bricks in our hand. Alright. If this Darksteel Citadel was a different land, I think I would be definitely in favour of blowing them up. But I don't think Gleeful Sabotage on Vault Whispers and Terrarion is that great a plan. The next question is like whether I'm supposed to play this Quirion Ranger or not, since if they've got another Krark Clan Shaman, we're actually sort of in a little bit of trouble. I'm actually not going to this time. But it could be a mistake. Could be me playing too scared. Okay. Atogs are scary things. I think now is the correct time to blow up their lands. And Vault Scourge is always welcome. Hopefully this can set them back significantly. The Atog, I was never going to be able to attack through that effectively this turn anyway. So that's a-okay. And I think probably I have to accept now that I can't beat... If I'm going in on this, I probably can't beat this thing, the Krark Clan Shaman. So I'm just going to run out the Vault Scourge. No, still no real need to run out this either though, since it can't really attack. So the biggest they can make, so they can sacrifice 2 things to basically negate a Groundswell. So I don't think I want to attack with everything this turn. I'll just attack him with the Vault Scourge. There's no real downside to playing the land, because if I do need to make landfall again, I can just return it on their turn. Oh dear. Is it happening? Am I getting blown out by the second Shaman? I can see it. That'd be sweet. Electricity, honestly, I don't care that much. I'll go ahead and just save my Vault Scourge. So the net effect of this Electricity is that Quirion Ranger and Eldrazi spawn are dead, and my Young Wolf gets +1/+1. I mean, it is mildly annoying, don't get me wrong. So if I attack with everything, they take 5, go to 9. Then I play Solana Ledgewalker. I think that's okay, to be honest. Because if they want to actually kill something, then they need to sacrifice their Terrarion. Which draws them a card, yes. But it also reduces their artifact count and prevents them from being able to tap for red. I'll just play Ledgewalker. I know they have, multiples of, this type of effect now. So maybe the Ledgewalker, despite the usefulness of the evasion, is just too bad with what they're sideboarding in. So therefore it has to be cut. And perhaps Mutagenic Growth is okay, but Pump Spells are actually surprisingly bad against Clan Shaman, since they have to stack a bunch of triggers, and if you have a 1 toughness guy, if you just try and pump to save your thing with the Mutagenic Growth, they can just respond by sacrificing more things. It's fine at saving 2 toughness creatures, for sure. Well, I guess I will be attacking. Make them think maybe I have Current Swell. They could obviously have any number of things since they have access to all 5 colors of mana. They could even have their own Tangle, which would be hilarious, to be honest. Could be another Electrickery. That would be fairly annoying, for sure. Maybe they were just psyching me out by making me think they might have Electrickery. Okay, so Galvanic Blast, not too bad. They still have to decide whether or not they're going to sacrifice something. I mean, I assume they would, but it's still reducing them by a permanent, They take 5. Oh, they have another Galp Blast. Alright. Well, unless they make a 4/4, the Riverboa is actually going to be relatively good. Like they can't block it with Atog forever. And it's probably going to be quite hard for them to kill it enough times, considering that I have Regeneration Mana open. And don't get me wrong, they can block it for a reasonable while. Assuming I don't draw this. Alright, time to attack with everything. If they don't have another Galvanic Blast, they're dead. I guess they can have another Electrickery to not die too, because they can force me to regenerate, and that takes it out of combat. Gotta make them have it though. So they're obviously drawing to try and hit something. Hooray! We have defeated Affinity.